Hello, beautiful people, and welcome. In this video, we are writing equations of quadratic functions. Now, in this video, we are specifically looking at the vertex form. As always, if I make a mistake, please let me know where the mistake occurs, so that way I may learn from it. Step number one is to identify your vertex. Now, your vertex is either your minimum or your maximum. So in this case here, that's going to be this point right here. So if we look at it, we have 1, 2, that's your x value, and 1 is your y value. So your vertex is your 2 and 1. Now, when you're thinking about h is always opposite of what you see. So although we see a 2 and a 1, when we write the equation, we have to think opposite. But in this case, we're okay. So that means this is your h, this is your k. Let's go ahead and move on to step number 2. You're going to choose a pretty point that is not on the vertex, and you're going to plug it in for x and y. So let's start off by writing our equation, and our equation was f of x, you can choose to write y, is equal to a times x minus h squared plus k. So that means that your h, again, opposite of what you see, and your k have already been identified. So let's write this out. I'm going to choose to write this as a y. So I'm going to say x squared. Now I know what my h is. My h is a 2. So that means I'm going to do opposite of what I see. So if I see a 2, I'm going to write minus 2. And your k stays the same. So if I see a 1, I'm going to do a plus 1. Now we're going to go back up to our sketch here. I'm going to choose another point that is on my curve that is not the vertex. So I'm going to choose this one. Why am I choosing this one? Because it's pretty. It's smaller numbers than the other one. It's on my curve. Doesn't really matter. Just make sure it's a pretty number. So I have my x is 1. I'm going to write this down below. You can't really see this right now. That's okay. I have 1 as my x value and 1, 2, 3 as my y value. So I'm going to shift this up here. So that means I have x and y. So what I'm doing with this point in this step is I'm going to be replacing your y, and I'm going to be replacing your x with my x and y values. So when I'm rewriting it, my y was 3. I'm going to keep a. My x was 1. And the purpose of this is so that you can solve for your a value. So I'm going to say 3 is equal to a times 1 minus 2 is negative 1 squared plus 1. Evaluate this squared first. So I have a times 1 plus 1. Again, multiplication comes before addition subtraction. So make sure that you deal with this first. I'm going to shift up here. So I have 3 is equal to 1 times a plus 1. Well, 1 times a is just a plus 1. I'm going to subtract 1 both sides. Here's my little dotted line. So that means a is now equal to 2. So now that we have our a value, you're going to rewrite the equation using those 3 values. So the first one here we have is a is 2, h was 2, k was 1. So when I'm rewriting my final equation, let me shift this up here. I have y is equal to, you can choose to write f of x instead, a, which is 2, times x. Again, you have to do the opposite of what we see. So I have a minus 2 here, squared, plus k, which is plus 1. And here's our equation in vertex form for the given function. All right, beautiful people, thank you so much for watching this short clip, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!